Thank you so much, Paul, for joining us on the news.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
All right, so how does this come to you, given that your principal was among those that actually drew attention of Nigerians to the alleged complicity of the president on drug-related charges in the United States?
Well, thank you. The reality is that the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is a very serious office. Nigeria is the black nation's most populous country, and it's expected that whoever it is that presides over the affairs of Nigeria must be somebody of impeccable character. Back in 1999, the late Gani Fayemi has started a process based on allegations that Tinubu had a questionable character, both in his educational records, the schools that he claimed to have attended, and all of that, and even the issue of the drug trafficking, the forfeiture of $460,000. So the late Gani Fayemi has started that process when Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State. Unfortunately, because he enjoys immunity, they were unable to proceed. What Atiku Abubakar was trying to do in 2023 was to ensure that Nigerians had the opportunity to evaluate, who will be ruling them. And, if Tinubu had acceded to, the outcry of Nigerians, we would not be in this mess where Nigeria is in the eye of the storm on account that the man who presides over our affairs is allegedly linked to drug trafficking and also has educational records that appear to have been, allegedly forged. And so that's very concerning, and perhaps following the failure of that discovery, the U.S., and this appears to be an independent effort to ensure that Nigerians have the benefit to know what exactly is in those records that Tinubu had tried very hard to ensure that are not made public. So if the presidency said that there's nothing in it, the question is, why have they all this while, spent so much resources, on time trying to ensure that Nigerians do not have the benefit of what, is inside those, those records.
Mm. Well, Nasir El-Rufai at some point came out to say that those within the confines of politics within the party, the ruling party, knew about those records, but yet they still went on to support his emergence as the president. Do you think there would be any sort of consequence looking at this particular story come out and the details about the president?
Well, like I said, it's very concerning. Like I also said, if there is nothing in those records, they will not spend the time and the resources they have spent trying to ensure that you and I do not have the benefits, of those records. I mean, the issue of the integrity of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has come into question. And I wonder how, the President carries on, with other presidents from other nations, whenever he makes, appearances, overseas, because everybody knows exactly what, happened, with his records as it relates to drug trafficking. I mean, those are well documented. He was investigated by the FBI, and money was, he forfeited money, $460,000. A man who did not commit a crime would not forfeit amount of that magnitude way back, when this, happened. And that has also been established that the schools that he claimed to have attended, the government college in Ibadan, he never saw the four walls of that college in Ibadan. And he has a knack for government colleges, also government college in Lagos. He purportedly attended government college in Lagos even before the school, was established. So these are all that. These are, based on affidavits that he has sworn as far back as in 1999. And those records are still alive. So the issue of integrity, is there. And if he still has any modicum of, of it, the natural thing that he will do, is to resign. And men and women of goodwill, Nigerians, should also, prevail on him to do the needful. Otherwise, the presidency of Nigeria will continue to suffer, moral deficiency. We don't need that because it's an anathema to foreign investment. No investor will bring his money, into a country where, everybody knows that the president, has a questionable character. He's linked to drug trafficking. He has forfeited money. He never attended schools that he claimed
now Paul,
attended. Yes.
So just to wrap things up, now if the record is eventually, made public, can there be a legal case being instituted against the president, peradventure refuses to resign, whether or not this particular detail indicts him expressly?
There will be consequences. What would they expect? If the records are able to establish beyond reasonable doubt that the president was involved in drug trafficking, our constitution does not support, the president of our country, being a drug, trafficker, and then, at the same time, benefiting from being the president. And then also about CSU, because CSU is very, is very key in all of this. The Chicago State University that he claimed to have attended. Of course, at some point in time, he also claimed to have attended the Chicago University, which is different from Chicago State University. So if he never attended, that particular school, if he never, graduated from the school, if there were forged documents that were used in getting, admission into that school, that invalidates whatever it is, the certificate that he has, from that, particular school. We have two issues here: drug trafficking, and then forgery. What would you expect? Is that the president, is the character of the president that we want, to continue to preside over our affairs? To be up to him to do the needful, which is, like I said earlier, is to resign from office.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul Ibe, for sharing your thoughts with us on the news.